Hello, you are most welcome. I'm Teacher Ivan from Wunna Educational Services. I welcome you to our second lesson where we shall be looking at measurements in physics. The word measurement simply means getting the accurate size of a quantity, getting the accurate size of a physical quantity. So when we talk about measurements in physics, we are simply meaning getting accurate size of different physical quantities. And a physical quantity is therefore a quantity or anything that can be accurately measured. Anything that can be accurately measured is what we call a physical quantity. Physical quantities are categorized into two. We have the fundamental quantities and derived quantities. Fundamental quantities are those physical quantities that cannot be expressed in terms of other physical quantities. Such quantities include mass, time, length, amount of a substance, intensity of the luminous intensity of a substance. We have thermodynamic temperature, we have current. Those are all fundamental quantities. Then derived quantities are quantities that can be expressed in terms of other quantities, majorly the three fundamental quantities of mass, length, and time. Then when we look at the fundamental quantities in details, one by one, we shall consider the major three fundamental quantities of mass, length, and time. Mass is defined as the quantity of matter contained in an object. The quantity of matter contained in any object is what we call mass. Mass is measured in kilograms as its SI unit. When we talk about SI unit, we mean the internationally recognized unit of a quantity. So the recognized unit of mass internationally is kilogram. However, we have other quantities of mass. That is, we can have hectogram, we have decigram, decagram, gram, ounce, we have pounds, we have milligram, we have centigram, we have tons as other quantities of mass. We look at the instruments used to measure mass. We have beam balance. However, we have different categories of beam balances. We have the digital beam balance, we have the triple arm beam balance, we have the top arm beam balance, and so on. But the major instrument for measuring mass is a beam balance. Then we look at the conversion of units of mass. We can convert from kilogram to other units of mass. We shall see that in numerical form on our other platform, that is Wuuna e-learning platform. So you can go to Wuuna e-learning platform, go to playlist, go to O-level physics, you check the conversion of mass from one unit to other. You'll find and watch that video about conversion of units of mass. The other fundamental quantity that is worth a discussion is length. Length is simply defined as the distance between two fixed points, and it is measured in meters as its SI unit. However, apart from meters, we can also measure length in kilometers, decameters, hectometers, miles, yards. We have feet, we have centimeter, millimeter, we have decameter, and so many others. Then the instruments that are used in measuring length, we have the foot ruler in our sets, we have the tape measures, the ones are used by builders, we have the calipers, we have the micrometer screw gauge, we have the strides. Those are traditional ways of measuring length. We can use strides, we can use footsteps, we can use threads. Those are all traditional ways of measuring length, among others. Then we also look at the conversion of units of length. We can convert from a kilometer to meter. We can convert from various units. We also have a video concerning conversion of units of length. Just go to Wunna Educational Services, our sister platform. Go to O-Level Physics, search for length, and look for conversion of units of length. As I wind up this lesson, I would like to talk about another fundamental quantity, which is time. Time is simply defined as the interval between two events. The interval between two events, that is time. Then time is measured in seconds as its SI unit. However, apart from seconds, time can also be measured in minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, fortnights, centuries, millenniums, decades, generations, and so on. Those are all units of time. We look at the instruments used to measure time. We have various instruments such as the stop clocks, stop watches. We have the traditional ways of measuring time. We have the pendulum clocks. We have the sand clocks or the sand glasses, where we had sand in a glass and the glass is inverted until sand pours to another side of the glass. That is one of the traditional way of measuring time, next to the pendulum clocks. We could also tell time basing on animal sounds like the cock crows. Then we could also tell time traditionally basing on the position of your shadow during the day. Those are some of the traditional ways that we could tell time. Then we also have conversion of units of time. We can convert from second to minute, from minute to hours, from hour to days, from days to weeks, and so on. Those are all ways of how we can convert units of time from one to another. We also still have a video on how we can convert units of time in our sister platform, that is Wuuna e-learning platforms. Still, we have various platforms for various levels, so please go to our homepage, scroll down, you'll find those sister platforms, and please subscribe to them such that your learning is simplified and made easy for you and convenient. Otherwise, in our next video, we shall be discussing about derived quantities. I'm Teacher Ivan from Wunna Educational Services. Hope to see you very soon.